Hi there, and welcome to my review of Mary Magdalene. So Mary Magdalene is the new film by Gareth Davis, who debuted a couple of years ago with Lion, which was a pretty decent film. And I have to say, I went into this film with very high expectations. So this is a film about Mary Magdalene and her relationship with Jesus and her relationship with the founding of Christianity. I went into the film with high hopes because although I'm not a Christian and I'm not spiritual, I actually have quite a soft spot for religious movies. You know, I really like the works of a lot of religious directors like Andrei Tarkovsky, Ingmar Bergman, Carl Theodor Dreyer, Martin Scorsese. I really like a lot of religious films, and this film had, as well as Gareth Davis, who has provided Lion, which was decent. There's also the fact that Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix were the main characters here, and I really like both of them as actors. They're two of my favourite actors working right now. So I thought, some of my favourite actors, a premise that's interesting because I'm intrigued by the history of Christianity, I'm intrigued by the history of religion, I'm intrigued by religious thoughts and spiritualism in general, even though I myself am not spiritual. I just find it interesting, I find it fascinating, I find there's a lot of rich human depth to be mined from these sort of discussions, because the way people think and the way people act because of spiritualism really can define life. And so I went in with an anticipation of, okay, I hope this is going to be an interesting movie. And I have to say, I was just disappointed thoroughly with Mary Magdalene. This was really, really poor as a film. It just isn't very good at all. So first of all, the biggest problem with this film is really obvious. It's really, really boring. I know that it's a film that wasn't trying to be interesting, like, it is certainly a very low energy movie. It's very, very quiet, very, very slight. Everything is played in a very minor key. It's not trying to be big and bold and exciting, but man, it's really, really dull. Like, there's so many scenes where like nothing happens, where it is just people quietly talking or just people walking. And look, I really like slow cinema. I love really slow movies. I really have a passion for movies which take their time to tell their story. But they lead to something interesting. There's nothing in Mary Magdalene that's interesting. If you know the Bible stories, you pretty much know a lot of what happens here, and watching them done really slowly, with Joaquin Phoenix barely speaking, barely having any sort of expression, and Rooney Mara just sort of wandering around, it's really not fascinating. And the themes here, if there is any, are muted. I don't know what he's trying to say. Whatever take this has on Christianity or Mary Magdalene or Jesus really doesn't come across. Whatever the filmmakers were trying to say, I'm pretty certain they didn't say it, because I don't know what even the point of the film was, and I've seen it. Like, what were they going for exactly? This was just kind of stodgy and dull. I haven't been quite so bored in the cinema in a while. It was really, really not interesting. And I didn't go into this film expecting that. I thought at the very least I would be interested, even if I thought the filmmaking was poor. And the filmmaking really isn't that poor. Like, the cinematography is great, and if I'm honest, I think Gareth Davis at least knows how to construct a scene, but I feel like he really misjudged this really badly. Like, you have to have something more exciting than what goes on. If you're going to do a movie that retells events without putting a spin on them, there's no spin here which makes it any more interesting than just watching the story of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, because that's all it is. Some films might have used this to try and perhaps reconcile maybe the hypocrisy perhaps of Mary Magdalene, considering this film tries to position Mary Magdalene as a strong female figure. You know, this film is trying to be a sort of feminist, sort of woohoo, strong women kind of film. That is, you know, entirely hypocritical, considering she's supposed to be crucial to Christianity, which itself for many hundreds of years was patriarchal and oppressive to women. That type of worldview might have been something to explore. There's other things that the film kind of touches on, like it constantly brings up revolution, which kind of made me think of Pasolini and his version of Jesus with the Marxist undertones. Like, the film could have been bold, but really the revolution stuff doesn't really come down to anything. It just comes down to Jesus is going to make the world better. It doesn't explore it. What does it mean to have a revolution? What does it mean for there to be a revolution? What does it mean for people to buy into this revolution? Aside from Jesus going around talking about there being a revolution, what is there for the film to buy into? There's nothing that I got out of Mary Magdalene that I think other Jesus films haven't covered before. There's nothing I got out of this that other films about religion haven't covered before. The only unique aspect is that Mary Magdalene is the main character. But even then, it's not like the film positions her beyond anything apart from woohoo strong woman, which is all good, but that doesn't mean much in the context of this film. What does it mean for her to do what she does? And I don't know, and I couldn't tell you. She just sort of follows Jesus, wanders around, does some stuff, and then the film ends. It's not very interesting. It's kind of dull. It's so low energy. It's really, really boring. Just a mess. You know, I really don't know what they were trying to say. I don't know what they were going for. I didn't go in expecting a masterpiece. You know, I went in expecting decent film at the very least. I mean, Gareth Davis did not blow my mind with Lion. But with this, I'm like, fucking lost. What is it? I mean, maybe some people will find worth in this film. I imagine if you perhaps are spiritual, maybe you get something out of this I don't get. Maybe if you really like the energy of the film, maybe you'll get something out of it. For me, if your film's going to be low energy, I want something to chew on, like thematically or intellectually. I think the worst thing in the world is to watch a slow movie that you just think isn't going anywhere. And this felt like 2 hours of a film going nowhere. So yeah, as much as I respect certain parts of Mary Magdalene, as a whole, I think it's pretty much just a bad film. Like, not really that good at all, and I don't know what I could really recommend about it. But, you know, that's what I thought. Have you seen Mary Magdalene? I'd love to hear your comments if you have, and give this video a like if you liked it, and subscribe for what I've seen more of my reviews. Thank you for watching, and Mary Magdalene, it's a bad film.